So today in our mapping video, we're going to be looking at a scenario where Greece and Turkey both form empires. And I already made a video where Turkey reforms the Ottoman Empire, but I haven't made one on Greece. So because Turkey and Greece are historical enemies, I said let's make them both form empires and then have their empires face off each other. And I forgot to color in this one for Turkey. And if it's not Turkish, which it probably is, now it is. Okay. So anyways, so first let's start with Greece. So after getting the power of freaking grossness, they power through some of the Balkan countries, and this includes Bulgaria, North Macedonia, and most of Albania. Albania barely gets any territory left, and everyone starts memeing about Second Byzantine Empire. Little do they know this that they're actually going to do it. Kosovo is um. They also capture Kosovo, which I don't know if it's featured on this map, but whatever. Even though it should be. I mean, it was from 2009, but the Kosovo got its independence in 2006. So I don't know. Um, so Turkey is understandably a little mad because they wanted to reform their Ottoman Balkan territories. Greece doesn't really care, so they take the rest of Albania and also I think that's Kosovo. Yeah, I don't know. The Balkan countries, they're a mess on a white map. Um, Serbia is pushed even more, and there's also a push into another Balkan country, which I don't care enough to remember the names. And there is eventually a peace treaty signed with with lots of land loss for the remaining countries. Um, so, so now Greece is going to start making puppets because apparently every empire needs a puppet. Don't know why. So their first spot is part of Italy, which they proudly take and are able to make it a puppet. Um, and it is then split entirely from Italy, and then they go down to San Marino. Although, also by the way, NATO and stuff doesn't exist in this because that'll be like complicated, and I don't want this to So they then send a little army through freaking pixel. There you go. Anyways, so what they do next is that they send an army down here and start making more another puppet, and they eventually take San Marino. This is then split up into two puppets. If I can actually draw a freaking line correctly, for God's sake. Um. So with this, the oldest country is now finally dead. Sad day for all memers. Um. So yeah, these countries are these new puppets are encircled and yeah, split in two. They then make their another push into the Balkans, taking over all of Serbia and also part of Hungary and Austria and Czechoslovakia. I know it's Czech and Slovakia, but I don't care. They also take over Croatia. Now I know this seems a little bit unbalanced, but I kind of want to rush through this so I can get to the war. But I will tell you that both sides, Turkey and Greece, are buffed by about 2.6% by about 2.6 times. So that's how they're kind of able to breeze through this. And once again, unrealistic. So anyways, so now Greece has lots of access to the Adriatic Sea, and nobody really wants to invade them because no one wants to look at this weird border. Is that a horse if you look at it sideways? Now let's start with freaking Turkey. So the first thing Turkey does is side with Azerbaijan, and they actually unite, and they are able to swiftly take out Armenia. Georgia also decides to go with Turkey um for protection against Russia because there's some stuff in Georgia because Russia's a psychopath. Um, Turkey then goes up to help out Ukraine during the conflict, and then they take over Crimea from Russia, which causes a big war, um, pretty big war with Russia, which is going to be represented by the color green. That's too big. Wow. So yeah, it's going to be represented by the color green. So so after lots more fighting, Russia is able to sadly take over all of Ukraine. This leads to Turkey um gathering all their forces here and plumbing them through, splitting Ukraine into two, and Kiev is recaptured, and they also take over Moldova in the meantime because they feel like it. then encircle Russia, and Vladimir Zelensky is finally back. Then push. They then decide that it's a good idea to try to push through the Caucasus, through Ukraine and their Caucasus countries, and they're able to connect them. So now the armies have successfully met up. They can now do a much bigger push. So over in the Caucasus countries, we have a small invasion from the south, which causes some spear throughs and an encirclement, and then another encirclement. Over in Ukraine, they once again meet up, and they start just kind of sending in random armies up there to try to take just as much land as possible, and they start to get close to Moscow. The armies then converge over here to make a big encirclement, and there's multiple different spearheads in Moscow. Let's just say it's right here. So now the heart of Russia is exposed, and a big army from here starts to make advances, and they continue to encircle Moscow. Putin is hiding, and he can't really escape. There's about 6 assassination attempts during this whole conflict on Putin, and it's starting to make Putin a little paranoid. But eventually, the heart of Russia is encircled. They then proceed to squeeze in from all sides, taking lots of land. They decide to take out some forces they've already encircled, so they don't push through. And then little by bit, Moscow is finally 100% encircled. Russia still does not do peace, and they decide to instead just freaking nuke Constantinople, and Greece is pretty mad about that because they actually wanted Constantinople, if it wasn't obvious. So what this paratroopers are dropped in from Russia, but they are quickly defeated, and the radiated lands are recaptured. So back in Russia, the heart is finally down. Now it's time for border gore. So with the very very harsh peace treaty, Russia loses basically everything that it has. I mean, this clearly has still a lot, but the thing is that like this entire part, it's either just frozen or it's sand, just freaking sand. So yeah, so Russia is basically cut off from everything good, and a new government is set up in the new Russian Republic, which is now finally democratic for once. They also decide to take Belarus while they're at it, because why not? Um, and with this, they say, screw it, let's start some puppets like Greece. So they do just that. The first puppet is over here, and there's also an encircled puppet and another puppet down here. Now they're doing this in order to kind of not scare everyone. There's a curving puppet around here, and it ends around here with and it's encirclement. And then there's a bit of a split through a hard like annexation, and then the rest of the puppets, and then there's one final big puppet right here, which they decide to just connect with the other puppets. So now Turkey has claimed a lot of land. So then they decide, screw it, let's attack the Middle East. But not before Greece can get to them. So first, Greece decides it will be a great idea to take out Egypt, and they're able to take the Suez Canal, stopping all trade to Turkey. And they're able to push down into Egypt, taking all of it, and then puppeting the rest. And I did not mean to push into Sudan. Wow. Well, that just gave me a few ideas, but whatever. All right. So the rest of Egypt is puppeted by Greece, and I usually don't like doing puppets in these videos, but everyone else does it, so screw it.